Man, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Lakers playoff matchup. I mean, the play-in tournament's great, and even better to watch knowing the Lakers are not a part of it. They're actually in it without the play-in tournament. That's great to see, but even apart from that, the star power in this playoff matchup, we got Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James in one playoff series. And then if you are a Laker fan like myself, it's pretty good to know that they're the third seed, have home court advantage, and for the first time in half a decade now, and then in my opinion, have everything they need to win this series. So with that being said, we're going to talk about 3 reasons for why they can win this series and probably for why they have the advantage here over the T-Wolves. But then, not to be completely biased, 2 reasons for why they might not be the favorites and 2 things the T-Wolves might be able to take advantage of. But before we get too far into it, don't forget to check out G2A.com. They got your best new games like Monster Hunter Wilds, gaming gift cards, PC software, and much more. So be sure to check them out in the video description down below. But now getting back to our topic. And well, without further ado, for reason number 1, I think it's simply gotta be about the Lakers lineup versatility and all-around versatility compared to Minnesota. I mean, compared to them, they can play big or small and not be completely dependent on either. For their bigger lineup combinations, and yes, they do have them, despite some fans saying they're too small and too small to beat a team like the T-Wolves, I don't think that's the case here, and they have had success playing big. For 2 of their go-to bigger lineup combinations, one of which actually being their direct starting lineup, including Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes, which doesn't have a single player under the height of 6'5" by the way. That particular lineup has a net rating of plus 1.1, proving its effectiveness and showing they can still play big and still have success on the court too. Or then for a second option, basically the same lineup but just with Dorian Finney-Smith rather than Rui Hachimura. And once again, having a positive net rating, this time of plus 1.0, and between both lineups, both playing about 100 total minutes and showing they can play big and still be effective on the court too. But like I said, they can also play small and definitely have the ability to do this compared to the T-Wolves. They're not reliant on playing big or any one style of play, as they definitely do play pretty good in a small ball lineup. I mean, it's literally been their best combination, with the 5-man lineup of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura. That lineup has a net rating of plus 18.6, absolutely elite and showing how good they are in that particular lineup. Pretty much their go-to 4th quarter lineup, or really whenever they need a run on the court. It's been effective defensively, offensively, and pretty much been their best well-rounded lineup. And well, compared to the T-Wolves, they're not nearly as versatile and much more reliant on playing one style of play in my opinion. Their starting lineup is fairly effective, and that is with Rudy Gobert on the court, having a combination of Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert, having a plus 3.2 net rating, and 3 other lineup combinations with Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid having a net rating of plus 15. So yeah, pretty good in a bigger lineup for them. But when Rudy Gobert is taken off the court and or played off the court, much like a guy like Luka Doncic can tend to do, they have not been very effective and not very effective on defense. I mean, for 3 different combinations including both Julius Randle and Naz Reid, kind of a smaller lineup for them and pretty much as small as they will go on the court, that's not been very effective. One combination including Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, and Naz Reid had a net rating of negative 4.3. Or then for 2 more Julius Randle Naz Reid lineups, one of them had a negative 1.6 net rating, and then the other one having a negative 3.5 net rating. Both of them playing over 100 minutes and not really being very effective, and once again, not very good on defense without Rudy Gobert. But then for reason number 2, which definitely does go hand in hand with reason number 1, I think the Lakers simply have better depth. I mean, take away both teams' number 1 option, Luka Doncic for LA and for Minnesota, and what do they have left? Well, the Lakers still have LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, and Jordan Goodwin for good to absolutely great depth off the bench or in their starting lineup. I mean, for offensive threats, they got LeBron, Austin, Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Gabe Vincent for guys that can drop 20 plus on any given night. or even 30 plus for LeBron and Austin. And for defensive-minded players, they still have Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Jordan Goodwin, and even LeBron at times who can regularly make a defensive impact. But I really can't say the same thing for Minnesota. Definitely not saying they have bad depth, that's not the case here, but I wouldn't put it up there with the Lakers' depth. Behind Ant, they do have Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Mike Conley, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker for good to reliable depth, with the offensive threats being Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley, and Dante DiVincenzo. Though it is important to note that Julius Randle has been a notorious underperformer come playoff time, and they have significantly less offensive production compared to the Lakers, especially talking for a number 2 option. I mean, comparing Julius Randle to LeBron is pretty laughable, or for a third option, comparing Austin Reeves to, Jaden McDaniels or Naz Reid, also pretty laughable. Again, theoretically take Luka or Anthony Edwards out of the game, and what do both teams have left offensively? Well, the Lakers still have LeBron and or Austin Reeves, but then the T-Wolves have guys like Julius Randle, again very unreliable come playoff time, or for a second option, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley, or Dante DiVincenzo. Not really comparable in my opinion. And then defensively, definitely closer here, but still a little bit less in my opinion. Like I said for the Lakers, having guys off the bench like Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, and Jordan Goodwin. Then compare that to Minnesota. In their starting lineup, they got Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, 2 very good defenders, and then off the bench, Dante DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Pretty good, but what if Rudy Gobert gets played off the court directly by Luka Doncic again? And then factoring in for LeBron, do they have 2 guys that can match up with him and Luka Doncic at the same time? I'm not sure they do, and that definitely is a weakness to point to with their team. And kind of going hand in hand with that, reason number 3 happens via, if the Wolves couldn't stop Luka Doncic alone last time, now how do they try to stop Luka, LeBron, and Austin all at once? I mean, even with Kyrie Irving, Luka did not have close to the offensive firepower around him that he does now with the Lakers. And even without all that, against the T-Wolves last year in the conference finals, the guy put up 32.4 points per game, nearly 10 rebounds per game, 8.2 assists per game, and 4.1 made 3-point shots per game on 43.4% 3-point shooting. So yeah, that's obviously a pretty tough cover for them. Then add in another 40 to 45 points per game from LeBron and Austin Reeves, and how do they figure that out? Well, I'm not sure they can, and if Luka directly played their best defender or defenders off the court last time, one of which being Rudy Gobert, being a sitting duck against him in drop coverage, and then kind of even Jaden McDaniels getting pushed around and kind of bodying up by Luka Doncic, that's directly taking away their best 2 defenders. And then after that point, who do they have left to kind of stop or try to stop LeBron James? Obviously not Jaden McDaniels, he'll be defending Luka, so do they go with Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, maybe a smaller defender like Dante DiVincenzo off the bench? Probably not, and I guess good luck with that, as that's not even factoring in Austin Reeves too. And overall, I'm not sure how the Wolves overcome what they couldn't already overcome by simply trying to stop Luka Doncic alone last season. But to completely avoid being biased here, let's talk about 2 reasons for why the Wolves might be able to do it and what they might have been able to learn from last season. With reason number 1 for them, that being the fact that they did play 5 full games against Luka Doncic in a playoff setting, so you gotta think they learned something from that, right? I mean, it nearly was as bad as it could be for them last time. Maybe they thought of something different and we'll try a different defense against him and try to slow him down. If it works, that would definitely give them a better chance. Even slowing down Luka to about 28 points per game, that's a 4-point differential and that might lead to them winning another game or 2. Who knows? After all, following 5 games of the same defensive coverage, with Rudy Gobert in a drop and then with Jaden McDaniels or Anthony Edwards in single coverage against Luka Doncic, you'd think they'd try something different, right? And then with that, maybe Cat was part of their problem on defense. I mean, I'm not sure Julius Randle is or will be any better for them, but then again, Cat did have a hard time against the Mavericks. Maybe this simply will be a better matchup for their team, and with their defensive personnel, not only against Luka, but against the Lakers. Not sure if that's the case, but hey, I guess you never know. Then for reason number 2, this one being a more direct reason and one you can directly point to, With that being the fact that last season the Mavericks were definitely better on defense than the Lakers are right now. Not to say the Lakers are bad and definitely not about their defensive versatility, but comparing them to that Mavericks team, not quite as good. With the Lakers finishing 17th in defensive rating this season, compared to the Mavs being ranked 7th following the trade deadline last season, which was pretty much their actual team and with the team they made the run with. And compared to that, the Lakers don't have a great matchup for Anthony Edwards, and not to start the game out with, Vanderbilt and Finney Smith off the bench match up fairly well, but again, they do come off the bench. And for the Lakers starting lineup, definitely not a good matchup for him. I mean, do you want to throw Austin Reeves against him, Luka Doncic, LeBron, or Rui Hachimura? Probably not, but they really don't have a choice here. And well, for an average offensive team like the T-Wolves, that's a great thing for them. If they have time to get Ant or somebody else going early, that could make a big difference to their team and throughout the entire 48-minute duration. Getting one of them going, getting 2, 3 of them going, will make a big difference for an average offensive team against an average defensive team. Again, this isn't a great Mavericks team defense that really slowed down Ant and didn't let anyone else get going very much, containing Karl Anthony Towns, not letting a third guy get going, and again, really holding them in check. So from that standpoint, definitely more risk defensively for the Lakers and will be a tougher matchup for them compared to what it was for the Mavericks. However, will that be enough? I personally don't think so. If the Lakers stay healthy, it definitely could translate to the Wolves winning a couple of games and maybe even taking it to 6 or 7, but I think the Lakers ultimately win. I mean, the Lakers have way more offensive talent in my opinion. I mean, not really an opinion, compared to Anthony Edwards, and then a second option like Julius Randle. They got Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and then even more threats behind them. Then for their versatility, more versatile offensively and defensively compared to Minnesota, and then even for their depth, I think they're better in that regard too. So while it definitely won't be a cakewalk, I think the Wolves find a way to win 1 or 2, maybe even 3. I think the Lakers do ultimately win, and from the combination of what I talked about here today. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? If you had to give a few reasons for why the Lakers will or will not win this series, what would you point to? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.